Hey everybody, this is Rich and you're with Beekeeping with Rich. So what we're going to do this morning is take a look at the nuke that we made up last week. If you've checked out the last video, it was two-parter. We went out and did a cutout from a water control valve box, and the bees were all over the place, so we left the box on top of the meter box overnight. The next morning it was perfect. There was not a single bee left in the box. Everybody had come up into the nuke. We prepped the nuke for transport and brought it back and set it here. And now it's, that was Monday morning of the next week. And so this is 1 week from we brought it back and put it here. So we want to check it. Now there were 5 full frames of brood in there. So with any luck, I'm going to want to transfer it from this 5-frame nuke into the 8-frame box today. Let's hope that works the way I want it to. These bees were so gentle. I mean, we were ripping them out of their homes and tearing things up, and they had store upon store. This was no swarm. This was a fully mature colony, and they were so gentle. I'm very excited by these bees, but I'm going to try to do all this without even lighting the smoker. Rule number 1, always light your smoker. I'm going to ignore the rules this morning, and we'll see what comes of it. Yeah, well, no gloves, yeah, but we're going to, if we have to pause the video and light the smoker, well, we will. So, a couple of side notes. When we went back in the afternoon, when we were prepping the nuke for transport, and I had put the lid back on top of the meter box, some foragers came back in, even though it was 6:30 in the morning. Some foragers had already been going out, and they had started to cluster back in, so it realized it was going to be necessary to come back in the evening and vacuum up a ball of bees. So I got the first opportunity to use a little battery operated bee vac, and it worked perfectly. When we got back, and all I had to do was take the plug out of the bottom, set it on a table right next to the entrance here, and they all marched out and marched right in the entrance. I had 1 dead bee in the bottom of the bee vac, and that's statistically unimportant. I mean, that bee could have died of old age while I was driving from Sawgrass Mall back here. So I have to say that the foam in the bucket vac was as much a success as the foam has been in my regular bushkill type bee vac. And the only other comment I'll make today before we get started is I'm doing something a little different. A lot of beekeepers in our area have gone back to using unventilated bottom boards, since everybody started using them thinking it would help with varroa control, and it really didn't. So I made these PVC bottom boards, PVC size from a ripped plank, and you can get these 4x4 sheets. Now the thicker they are, the more expensive, but I had a brainstorm on that. You can get 3 out of a sheet, and the sheet's about 21 bucks. So I cut 3 boards out, but what I did for stability's sake is I screwed them to the underside of my slatted rack, because I always use a slatted rack. I'm a complete believer in them. And the slatted rack is always proven to give all the ventilation, all the extra ventilation they need. So hopefully this is going to be a winning combination. We're going to have the slatted rack with a PVC bottom board underneath it, drilled 3 little holes in the back just in case, even though I will be tipping them forward in case there's any need for drainage, because I don't want water standing in there. But we'll see how that works out. For now, let's get started. Hello. Well, you put the board down, then you put the box on top of the board. So, no, for purposes of stacking it here, no, you don't. All right. Huh. Let's see. Okay, you guys did find the sugar eventually. It was amazing. The first 2 days, they were paying no attention to the sugar water I put in there. I hadn't checked them after 2 days. So, happiness. Put you over here. Get that monster lizard off of there. Hello, ladies.
Notice all the elastics.
The elastics are all still here. I see bunches of little bits of white comb, which is good. Want to see that. Now, I checked them the day after we brought them back to make sure that no pieces had actually fallen out, because that's when I put the interior board in to change this from a deep to a medium. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, well, there's one chewed away. Lots of nectar being put away. Come on, ladies. Well, well, they seem to be anchoring things up. Yeah. Excuse me, ladies. I need to get one-handed here. Thank you. Save you the effort. Literally every bee was inside the box, and I don't think every bee would have gone inside the box if we did not have a queen. What? I don't. I'm only aware that this bee stung me because she was thrashing. Well, I guess they're a little unhappy with the situation as it exists. I may need to go light a smoker. Well, they're definitely testy this morning, I must say. Let's pause the video while I go light a smoker for a moment. Okay, here we are, back again. Still going to use most of the smoke on me, not them, but still. Well, since obviously they're doing pretty vigorously there, we're going to go ahead and put them in the box. I think I can make that decision at this point, regardless. Now, let's, ladies, let's be calm and collected here, shall we? Doop, 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 doop. Okay. I'm not seeing any sign of the queen or any queen presence, which makes very little sense given how well they all moved in. Be really unhappy if I lost this queen because, my goodness, they were so gentle while we were doing this. Come on. taking good care of their brood. That's no problem. Okay. Well, there are small larvae in here that would have been smaller, that would have actually been probably in the queen rearing range, but there's no sign of an emergency cup. They don't, well, but then again, if it's been a week, they could have gotten over the roar. But you know what? There's a simple rule in beekeeping that says, when in doubt, don't do anything. The bees will usually fix a problem themselves. We'll just get some good close-up videos so we can go back and look at it later, just in case. Okay. Now I will probably come back and put some empty comb in here, but for the moment I'm just going to reserve the spaces with some frames. See that all my comb at the moment is in bags that have some paradichlorobenzene crystals in tray on top, so I don't want to snatch a frame straight out. I want to take them out, let them air out for a couple of hours before I put them in here.
You got a couple more empties to put in here?
Not right here, and I'm not going to go run and get one. I'll pick one up in a few minutes. So, but what about all these bees? Well, you'll see that in a second. You know, look at all the nice different colored pollens that are coming in. Okay. Yes, I understand. I'd be upset too if I were you. Put it with the brightly ornamented. Zoop. Yeah, I know I could just brush them off in there, but if I can do this as non-invasively as possible, why not? Yeah, well, it's an 8-frame to 5-frame adapter, but we get a lot of rain down here, So I go ahead and I outline the top a little 3/8 inch rim all the way around it, so that if we do get rain, it doesn't go leaking in all the way around. It keeps the bees dry while something like this is going on. Pardon me? I'll come back this afternoon and take that off. They'll all walk down in there. Good girls. I was just smashing a couple of hive beetles, and I had trouble doing it because the bees were so aggressively chasing them. There we go. And that's the third one I saw. Come on, ladies, let's go. Whoops. That's why so many of you were here. You were chasing hive beetles. I never miss an opportunity to kill a hive beetle. This is South Florida. And if you don't stay ahead of them, they will run you over. No. Okay. Come on. Shoop, shoop. Sorry. It's just getting more hive beetles. The only bees left on here are ones that were chasing beetles. All right. Oh, so no, don't want to do that. I was going to put the feeder back on there without thinking for a moment. Let's not worry about a real top. We'll just stick this on there. Make it easier for when I come back in a little bit.
You want to put the water in the entrance?
Yep, in a minute. I don't think I have any extra modified entrance reducers at the moment. I'll just have to make a new one.
The one you dropped on the ground.
Well, there's that, but that's not a real entrance reducer for a hive this size, dear. I mean, that doesn't do a lot of good. There we go. But at the same time, oh, wait a minute. This just might be one. This just might be one. Yeah, not quite, but at least until I get back with another one, it'll do. Better a little than nothing. Okay. So that's it for the moment. I'll come back in a little while and take this box off when they've all gone down. I'll go get some empty comb, drawn comb, and put it in around there. Didn't see the queen, didn't see a lot of queen sign.
We did see queen sign.
Well, the larvae that I saw were not that small.
But they were less than 5 days old. Don't they get capped at 5
They were,
days?
they were right at that point. Well, we'll see. Hopefully she's in there. Like I said, you can seldom go wrong if you just give things a little extra time. And it's like I didn't think either one of these had a queen at one point. And then later on, we found queen sign in both of them. But then later on, both of them went queenless and they started queen cells. So at the moment, we're within a day or two of queen cells hatching out on both of these, because apparently those queens that I bought weren't that well mated. They started laying. They laid long enough for the bees in there to make emergency cells, because both hives have got a frame that has emergency cells on it. But they were they weren't well mated. I'll put it that way. They weren't well mated. They looked good, but they weren't well mated. And the bees knew it, and so the bees superseded them. bees know what they're doing, and bees will take care of themselves if you let them. So we'll just leave it at that note for now and say thanks for watching me as I go along in this journey. Like and subscribe. This is Beekeeping with Rich. See you later.